And earlier we spoke to President of the European Central Bank, Jean-Claude Trichet, who stressed the important links between the European and Chinese economies.
Hi, Mr. Trichet. Thank you for joining us. Well, the Dubai crisis rattled the world's financial market, and many European banks seems to be at most risk. It also points to the vulnerability of the global economy despite signs of recovery. So what do you think of the economic recovery fundamentals of the EU?
Well, I would say that if we look at all the figures, we have got out the free fall of the economy, which has characterized the European economy, the euro area economy, after Lehman Brothers during approximately 6-7 months. Then we are in a phase of stabilization. The third quarter was positive, black figures for the third quarter, and we are out of the recession now. But we will see, of course, and I remain prudent and cautious. In any case, we have the new projections, which will be published next Thursday.
Well, China's central bank has said in its most recent quarterly report that the yuan's exchange rate mechanism should take into account of the international capital flows and the movement of major currencies. Analysts say this means more flexibility in the yuan exchange rate system. So what do you think of that?
Well, I will not overinterpret what has been said or written. It is an occasion, such meetings, such bilateral meetings with the Prime Minister, with the Minister of Finance, with the Governor, were an occasion again on exchanging views, in particular on this issue of the exchange rate between the euro and the renminbi. We had a very friendly and I would say also candid exchange of views. I had, for my part, explained that we considered that a gradual and orderly appreciation of the renminbi against the euro and other floating currencies would be in the best interest, we trust, of our bilateral relationship, of the global economy rebalancing, and of China itself.
Now there are rising concerns about the US dollar status as the only global reserve currency and calls for other major currencies to play a bigger role, including the euro and the yen. What is your take on that?
Well, I would say that the euro is not calling itself for substituting to the US dollar or for being, I would say, an international currency. We never embarked in a campaign as ECB for the euro being an international currency. The investors, savers, market participants are free, of course, to utilize instruments that are denominated in euro. But again, we are not campaigning for that. And I would say in the present period, it is important that there is a stability between the major floating currencies, and certainly between the dollar being, as we already said, a strong currency, a currency which keeps its value. That is the position of the US authorities. I said that it was the position of Ben Bernanke. I appreciate enormously myself, as president of the ECB, this position.
Well, the China-EU relation is one of the most important in the world today. So how can the two sides better cooperate with each other in addressing the world's most pressing challenges?
It's clear that the importance of the Chinese economy, the importance of the euro area and the European Union economy are making the two economies two of the most important pillars. I would say two of the three most important pillars, or two of the four most important pillars of the global economy. So all what can permit the functioning of our bilateral relationship to be as smooth as possible is important. I noted, of course, as something which is of extreme importance, that Europe is the first client of China. Europe represents 20% of the Chinese exports. And of course, that is considerable. And so we have a joint interest of running our economies as well as possible.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you, madam. It was a pleasure.